Assalamu alaikum students. Today we will be solving 9618 variant 1-2 of the year October-November 2023, paper 1, theory fundamentals, computer science. Okay students, 1 hour 30 minutes, let's begin. The first question in this question paper is asked: a factory makes chocolate bars. The factory uses a conveyor belt that moves the products from one stage of production to the next stage. An automated system counts the number of chocolate bar made at the end of the production. The system includes a sensor positioned above the conveyor belt. Identify one type of sensor that can be used. One type of sensor that could be used is infrared sensor. Infrared sensor. Okay. And a second automated device system removes chocolate bars with an incorrect weight from the production line. Describe the role of an actuator in the second system. So you have to basically describe the role of an actuator in the second system. So describing the role of an actuator, basically pretty easy. Actuator generates signal. Generates a signal and generates signal. Basically it converts electrical energy into mechanical force. Okay, electrical energy into mechanical force. Okay, so basically why it does that is to push the arm in the actuator. Okay, because to push an arm to pick up the chocolate bar with the incorrect, because we had to find out a second automated system which removes the chocolate bar with the incorrect weight from the production line. Chocolate bar with an incorrect weight from the production line. Okay, part C says the factory has many different machines with embedded systems. Two features of embedded systems. Two features of embedded system. Just it's dedicated, it's built into a larger system. 2 points. Built into a larger system. Okay, and it is dedicated to a single task. All right. One drawback of embedded system is that it cannot be easily adapted for other tasks. Okay, it cannot be easily adapted for another task. Okay. Question number 2. You have to state the following terms. These following terms are in the relational database model, chapter 8 database. Okay, you have to learn the terms given in chapter 8. Entity is an object about which data can be stored. An object about which data can be stored. An object about which data can be stored. Okay, primary key is the unique key to identify the record. The unique attribute, basically, the unique key. Okay, the unique attribute used to identify the record. Referential integrity. What is meant by referential integrity is ensures, make sure, okay, yeah. Just write the most easiest one. You could say it makes sure any queries return accurate and complete results. Okay, make sure any queries return accurate and complete results. Authentication. Authentication is one method a DBMS. DBMS full form is database management system can use to improve the security of a database. So describe other methods that a DBMS can use to improve the security. So you have to describe 4 methods and you have to describe them. So first method I could say is backup. Why backup is because I could say so that the data can be recovered if the data is lost. Data can be recovered if lost. The second one I could say is record and table locking. Okay, it so that the updates are not lost. Are not lost. Third one you could say encryption. Encryption is the most important one. Encryption, why? Because so that the data is turned into ciphertext. The data is turned into ciphertext. The data is turned into ciphertext. Okay, backup. Backup, record, encryption, so that the data can be recovered if lost. Record and table locking, so that the dates are not lost. Encryption, the data is turned into ciphertext. Okay. Part C of this question is saying the following database it is not normalized. This database is not normalized. Okay. Explain how to modify the table to put it into 1NF. 1NF means first normal form. So you have to explain. For 4 marks, you have to write 4 points regarding this table. Okay. First thing you could say is identify the repeating groups of attributes. Whatever names are repeating again and again. Repeating groups of attributes. Okay. Subject and subject code. These two fields, they could be together. Because English, the name of the subject is already written. English, maths, computer science, ENMACS. What's the name of the subject code then? So these are repeating attributes. So these two fields, they could be cut down and put into one. All right. So it's in 1NF form. The third point could be ensure each field is atomic. Okay, or you could just say identify the primary key in this table. There's no primary key in this table. What do you think is the unique address? The unique address, I could say the tutor group. All the values in this are unique. Okay, so I could say identify the primary key in the table. Primary key is the unique key in each table. Unique key means that field has a unique value in each row. Okay, or I could say uh yeah, that's it. Ensure each field is atomic. Okay, because student name could be split into first name and last name. That's what is meant by this sign. Each field is atomic, which means if the student's full name is written, it could be split into Uwe, Claudia, Amil, Ariba. These all are the first name. Chen, Raj, Akram, Faraz. These all are the second last name. So it could be split into two fields. So that will be in one NF form. Okay. Now, question number 3. State one difference between a kibibyte and a megabyte. So you have chapter 1 in this. In the first chapter, this is chapter 1 question. You have to learn about the conversions. So kibibyte is binary prefix and mega is unary prefix. Okay, mega is denary prefix. Convert the denary value into 12-bit 2's complement binary integer. 12-bit 2's complement binary. So 196 minus 196, you have to convert it to 12-bit 2's complement binary integer. How are you going to do that? Pretty easy. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, and 256, 512, and then so on. So minus 196. First make 196 into a normal number. So how will you get 196? Let's check. 128 plus 64. 8 plus 4 is 12. 3 plus 6 is 9. 192. You have to make 192. So 128 plus 192, 193, 194, 195, 196. So 1 here. So 1, 1, 1. And the rest all will be 0. And the rest all is 0. Now you convert them and count how many numbers are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 numbers here. So if you convert it into 2's complement, it will become 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1. This should be your answer. 2's complement. This should be your answer for 1 mark. All right. Now, if you try to add all of these numbers together, try adding minus 512, 1024, and so on, so on, so on. So from those numbers, you just minus the last one, add all of these, 512, 56, 28. Only where it's 1, 1, 1, 1. Add this, add this, add this, add this, add this, add this number, add this number, add this number, and add this number. After adding all of them, subtract it from the last one, and then you will get minus 196. Okay. So the next thing, 1 mark. So pretty easy. 2's complement. First I found out the 196 normal into binary. After converting it into binary, I did 2's complement. 2's complement is really easy. From the right hand side until it's 1, it's the same. After the 1 is matched, everything becomes inverse. And then you add them together to bring it 196, just to ensure that your answer is right. Convert the binary coded BCD into denary. You have to convert it into denary. Simple, very, very simple. 1000 0110 0101. 4 groups. Put all 4 groups together. Not together, like separate, separate. One group is here. One group is here. And one group is here. Let's convert it. 1248. 1248. 1248. So 8, 8, 6, and 4 plus 1 is 5. So your answer is 865. Pretty easy. Make it into groups of 4, binary coded decimal, and convert it into denary. Denary means the numbers. So you have 4, the number was like 12 bits. So you could make groups of 4, groups of 4, groups of 4, and then you could do it 1 to 4 it, 1 to 4 it, and then easily find out the number. Convert the unsigned binary integer into denary. Simple. Just add them. The 1248 method, which we did. You'll get the answer. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256. Pretty easy. 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0. You could do that again. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, and then so on. 512. So to add the denary number 256 plus 128 plus 64 plus 16 plus 4 plus 2, it will give you all together, it will give you 470. 470 should be your final answer. Okay, it's pretty easy, students. Easy scoring marks. Identify one practical application of BCD and justify why BCD is used in this application. You could say that basically you could say, yeah, electronic displays. Okay, electronic displays. Justification is that because visual displays only need to show individual digits. Okay. So 1 mark for the application, 1 mark for the justification. Electronic application is electronic displays, like for example, calculator. I'll write the example here. Calculator. Justification is that because visual displays only need to show individual digits. 1 mark here, 1 mark here, it's 2 marks. So question number 4 says, write the Boolean expression that corresponds to the following logic circuit. It's chapter 3 chapter 3 logic gates. This is very, very important topic. This question comes in mostly in every exam paper for 961 and variant 1, 2, and also in paper 3. This is paper 1 every time.
one logic gate question comes. So A and B. This gate is a NAND gate. You should learn about the gates first. This is the NAND gate, and this is the XOR gate. This is the NOT gate, and then this is again the NAND gate. All right. So you have to write the Boolean expression. How will you write the Boolean expression? Is that for 3 marks, because there are three, A, B, and C. So you should make almost three gates. So you could say X is equals to A NAND B. A NAND B. Okay, this is done. Then I will say NAND, again NAND, NAND, not B, XOR C, and then close the brackets. A NAND B is this. This NAND is talking about the gate. Always the gate in the middle is always the final gate. Okay. So and then this bracket, the one in brackets, not B XOR C, talks about this. B is connected to XOR and then C. So B XOR C and not. So not B XOR C. So 3 marks for this. 1 mark for this, 1 mark for this, and 1 mark for this. Talking about the truth table, complete the truth table for the logic expression. This is the logical expression which is given to you. A XOR B and A and B and not C. So you have to solve this question. A, B, C. Okay, you have the working space, should do the working. After you are done with the working for all these logic gates, A XOR, you should know all the truth table for all of the gates. XOR gate, AND gate, NAND gate, and a NOT gate. All the truth tables. So now when you solve it, you have the working space. You can solve it slowly, but I'll tell you the final answers. Pause the video and then solve it. 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, and 1. This should be your answer. All right. Now, question number 5. State the meaning of privacy of data. Privacy of data. 1 mark. Privacy of data means ensuring data cannot be ensuring that the data cannot be accessed by unauthorized person. Ensuring that the data cannot be accessed by unauthorized person. 1 mark for this. State the meaning of integrity of data. Integrity of data means ensuring that the data is up to date. The data is up to date. Okay. C. Describe the following threats to a computer system. Following threats to a computer system. Phishing email. The threats by a phishing email could be the email pretends to be from the official body. Pretends to be from an official body. Okay, this is 1 point. Second point is they basically persuade people to disclose private information. Private information. Fake emails or emails which are not from unauthorized websites or unauthorized companies or unauthorized bank. The email they pretend to be like from someone official, and then they can take your bank account details and all stuff, and then they can hack you. Spyware. Spyware, it can be a malware which is downloaded without the user's knowledge. Without the user's knowledge. Okay, malware downloaded without the user's knowledge. And the next reason could be it secretly it secretly records the user's action. It secretly records the user's action. Okay. A real-time video of a music concert. Question number 6 is a real-time video of a music concert needs to be streamed to subscribers. Tick one box to identify the most appropriate type of compression and justify your answer. You can, if you're choosing lossy, you have to give the justification for lossy. If you're choosing lossless, you have to give the justification for lossless. So I will choose lossy. You can also choose lossless and write all the points which justify to your choice. So since I choose justification and since I choose lossy compression, I will give the justification for lossy. So I could say loss of quality will be noticed. Okay. Smaller file sizes will reduce the buffering. Buffering means the loading screen. Whenever you're seeing on the screen, when you see dot loading, and it's rotating, that's called buffering. Okay. And then viewers may watch on different devices. Viewers may watch on different devices. Right. So they do not need high resolution. Since the file size will reduce buffering, video will run smoothly. Okay, students. Part B says explain the impact of changing the sampling resolution on the accuracy of the sound. Changing the impact of changing the sampling resolution on the accuracy of sound recording. Accuracy of sound recording. Okay. So if you're increasing the sampling resolution, let's say increasing the sampling resolution, the number of bits used for each sample is increased. Okay, the number of bits for used for each sample is increased, and quantization errors are reduced. Are reduced. Okay. Let's say if you decrease the sampling resolution, we spoke about increasing, decrease this sampling resolution, then the number of bits used for each sample is decreased.
A bitmap image has a resolution of 2048 pixels wide and 1024 pixels high. The image has a bit depth of 10 bits per pixel. The bit depth is of 10 bits. You have to estimate the file size of the bitmap image and make sure you're working. Okay. Pretty easy. You have to just show you're working. Basically, for the file size, you multiply the numbers. So 2048 multiplied by 1024 times 10. Okay. And then you have to divide this thing by 8 because 1 bits is 8 bytes, 1 megabytes. So you have to give your answer in megabytes because it's mentioned here in megabytes. So you divide 8 times 1024 times 1024. The final answer you should be getting is 2.5 megabytes. Since you are not allowed to use calculator in this paper, you could do it with a pencil and the working here, and then you can erase it. Okay, or you could just do the working here. Do the multiplication or division both sides there, 2.5 megabytes would be your final answer. And estimate file size in megabytes, 2.5 megabytes. Okay, this should be the answer. 2 marks, 1 mark for the working, 1 mark for the answer. Question number 7. Question number 7 says, a local area network LAN contains 4 devices, a router, 2 laptop computer, a server. So 2, 1, and 1. Okay, 4. The server has the IP address 192. Explain why this is not an IPv6 address. It's pretty easy. It's why is it not IPv6? Because it only contains 4 groups of digits. Okay. And the second mark, you could say IPv6 has 8 groups of digits. Okay. And it uses dotted notation instead of colons. Okay. The LAN is set up as a star topology. The LAN is set up as a star topology. Draw a diagram of the topology of the LAN. So you have to draw topology of the LAN. It's pretty easy. Of this LAN. So you have a router. You have a router. You have 2 laptop computers and a server. Pretty easy. Just draw it like this. First thing is that you're going to draw a server. Okay. And then you will have a router. Okay. And then laptop 1. And then laptop 2. Okay. 2 marks for this, just for drawing this. Pretty easy. Explain how data is transmitted between the two laptops in the LAN. So, how is the data being transmitted between the two laptops? By looking at, if you've made the diagram correctly, you could answer it. You can say the data from data from the sending laptop is, yeah, from the sending laptop is transmitted to the router. Okay, the data from the sending laptop is transmitted to the router. The router transmits data directly. Transmits data directly. Okay, transmits the data directly. So if you can see here, that data from the sending laptop is transmitted to the router. So from laptop 1 and laptop 2, data from the laptop is transmitted to the router, and then the transmission is taking place between the router. And the router transmits the data directly between the two laptops. It's asking you between the two laptops. Subnetting can be used to separate a network into logical segments. Okay, so describe two other reasons why subnetting is used in a network. Why do you use subnetting? To improve the security of the LAN, to improve the security of the LAN. Okay, and just write the reason so that the devices do not receive unintended data. Unintended data. Okay. The other one can be to make the network easier to expand. And the reason can be by allowing the greater range of IP address, by allowing the greater range of IP address. Okay. Two other reasons. State three tasks performed by devices to deal with collisions when using the carrier sends multiple access. CSMACD protocol in a network. To monitor the communications. To monitor the communications channel. To detect a collision. To detect a collision. And then stop the transmission. And then stop transmission of further data. Okay. And the last reason could be increase the random time. Increase random time if multiple collisions. Okay, that's it. So 3 marks for this. The following incomplete table contains types of IP addresses and their descriptions. Complete the table by writing the missing types of IP addresses and the missing descriptions. Description: an IP address that is assigned to a device to allow direct access on the internet. That is public IP address. Public IP address. Okay. Static IP address. It is an IP address that is fixed. An IP address that is fixed. That is known as static IP address. An IP address used for internal LAN communication only. Internal is private IP address. Dynamic IP address. What is that? An IP address that may be refreshed. That may be refreshed or change each time a device. Each time a device rejoining a network, a LAN, the dynamic IP address will change. Question number 8. A computer system has an operating system. State one purpose of the operating system: to provide a user interface, to provide a user interface. Okay, provide a user interface. The operating system has a utility software. The purpose of some utility software is to improve the security. Identify one example of the utility software that is not intended to improve the security. Explain why the software is needed. Utility software is needed for file compression. It is needed for file compression. Why do you need the utility software to improve security? These are not intended. You do not need them to improve the security. So file compression is one of them. To reduce the size of the file. Second one can be which saves storage and memory space. Save storage and memory space. Okay. An optical disc reader is connected to the computer. Give the name of one port that can provide a connection for the optical disc reader. USB, Universal Serial Bus, or you could also write HDMI cable. Describe the roles of address bus, the data bus, and buffers in the process of writing data to the optical. Okay, so here you have to explain the whole scenario of how the things work. So 1 mark for 1 mark for all of them. So you have to describe the roles of the address bus, the data bus, and buffers in the process of writing the data to the optical disc. First thing you have to mention here is for buffers. Buffers are temporary. It temporarily it temporarily holds data until it is ready to be transmitted to the device. Okay. The next one is address bus. Okay. The address of the bus, the address of the data to be written to be written to the device. And the last one is data bus. What does data bus do? All data to be written to the device. To be written to the device. All data to be written to the device. So three steps: buffers explain, address bus explain, data bus explain, all of them. The process of writing data to the optical disk, right? The last part of the question says the following table shows part of the instruction set for a processor. The processor has two registers, the accumulator and the index register. Okay. So this is the instruction set. The question says the instruction in the processor's instruction set can be grouped according to their function. Identify the instruction group for each of the following opcodes. IN. What does IN mean? You have the so you will have the paper like you have to learn. IN means input and output of data. IN means input and output of data. This is chapter 4, process fundamentals. In that chapter, you can do this part of the assembly language. ADD is arithmetic operations. Okay, arithmetic operations. JPE is unconditional and conditional statements. And conditional instruction. Okay. CMI is comparing the instructions. Okay. The current contents of main memory and selected values from the ASCII character are set on page 15. This page. Trace the program currently in the memory using the trace table when the input is 1. Now, following this, we have to trace this table. Pretty easy, it's not difficult. So first thing is you have to store LDR0. So you have to write here 10 instruction is 10. Instruction address, you have to write it here. Let's begin with the first line 10. It says LDR0. What does LDR mean? LDR means direct addressing. So LDR0 is what? Direct addressing. So you'll write here 0. Okay, the next step is 11. Input. Input what? The first character in the ASCII is 49. So you have to input 49 here from the accumulator. Okay. Then move to the next step. It's 12. 12 says store the number in the one above function and store it in 101. Where is 101? 101 is here. So in 12, you go ahead and you store 49 here. Okay, the next step says 13 LDX 110. So LDX 110, what does that mean? LDX indexed addressing 110. So LDX 110. What is LDX 110? 51. This is LDX 110. You go to 110. And what's the number 51? Input this number here in the accumulator 51. Okay. And the next one is 14. Compare that number to 100. Compare that number to 100. And then jump is equals to true. If it's equals to 100, then you jump to 21. 21 means output. But since it's not equal, so we'll move forward. LDD 101. What is LDD 101? Line 16 says LDD 101. What is the function of LDD? LDD means direct addressing 101. LDD 101. So what is that 101? LDD 101. So 101 is 49. 49 here. 70 increment. 70 says increment the index register. The index register. So what is at the index register? 65. Okay, it's at 65. Then line 18 says store 100. Store 100 in the index register. So what's at 100? 1. Line 19 says store, no wait, sorry, my bad. Yeah, I missed out one line. Let's go back and do it again. Line 17 said add 16 to LDD 101. So 49 plus 16 is how much? 65. Okay, and then move on to the 18th line. 18, increment the uh, index register, so you add by 1. And then 19, line 19 says store 100. Store this value 65 in 100. Where is 100? Here, 100 is here. So 65, I've stored it here. Line 20 says output. You have to follow these instructions and then trace the table. Line 20 says, yeah, and then end. So we have to start again for the next number. So we'll start with line 13, LDX 110. LDX 110 is how much? 51. But now since it's not 51, it's 65 because we have incremented it. This was 110, 110 plus 1 is 111, 65. Okay. Line 14 says compare the value to 100. Jump is equals to true 6, and then you can order 16, 17, 18. Jump is equals to 21. If it's true, if it's comparing to 100, if it's true, compare it to 100, 65, compare it to 100. If it's true, then jump to 21. Jump 21 output. You can skip these steps. So jump from 15, you jump to 21. Anyone says output. So what is the ASCII at 65? Come to the ASCII table. 65 characters is output A. So you will output the character 21A. And then 22 says end it. This is how you're going to trace the table. Okay. It's pretty easy. You have to read the instructions one step by step, solve it, understand what STO means, LDX means, LDR means. The table will be given, the explanation of them will be given, which means what they mean. It's pretty much easy. Just understand it and do it, and make sure you trace it well for 4 marks.